Okay, lawsuit time. I'm going to put this video on skyinclude.com/unstoppable-handshake. And this video I made, first video on this page, you'll see if you check it, is the unstoppable domains versus Handshake, the differences of. This versus will be a lawsuit from Unstoppable Domains Incorporated to Gateway Registrar here, Gateway Registry Inc., James Stevens. So it is a centralized corporation and versus another centralized corporation that represents Handshake as a registrar of .wallet. And we've had a few of these other videos about this you can find on skyinclude.com/wallet. And I was going to put that there, but then I figured, this is like a great versus. We rank in Google and YouTube for differences of Unstoppable and Handshake. So I figured, hey, those people looking for it could find out about this lawsuit. And it is public, it is official. There's a lot of people laughing about it in the Handshake ecosystem. I'm somewhat laughing, and it's a good, I guess it was bound to happen. So we're going to go through it as best we can. I've gotten feedback from others in the community, and we'll keep this to the point. As always, you can find all of this text. I'm going to convert from Google Doc to our blog at skyinclude.com/unstoppable-handshake. So you can, first of all, link to the PDF that's on the court listener doc, which is the lawsuit in PDF format that was filed. The plaintiff is Unstoppable Domains Inc. The defendant is Gateway Registry Inc. or James Stevens. And you can see jury trial demanded, not a judge. But let me stay on order. I wrote this up in my morning writing. But does this sound unstoppable that you need to file a lawsuit? That doesn't sound unstoppable to me. Maybe there's a different meaning than their brand. But so we've been discussing, our friend for years, Scott. I'll just say Scott. He was on the skyinclude.com/wallet interview, the owner of the TLD, not James Stevens, not Gateway, but I would like to have James on the show, on the podcast, or the videos, whatever you call this stuff here. And but he's the owner of the wallet TLD, and he got this years ago, okay, before Unstoppable Domains decided to start to issue .wallet domains out of thin air, just picking a random name and saying we're going to sell .wallet domains out of nowhere. It's not from ICANN, it's not from Handshake's system, it's just kind of whipped up out of nowhere. They decided to start selling those about a year ago, and we'll go through that. They think that they're first, but we would say differently. They're not, in my opinion, first, they're second. But we helped them launch, or we promote it on the show. We put on our various social media, email campaigns. For $1.99, it's a pretty good offer, right? 1 year for $1.99, much cheaper than Unstoppable Domains.wallet. I didn't even look, but they do some, I think, pretty shady consumer tactics of how they charge premium for certain domains and things like that I don't feel like very Web3. like that, I don't know. Anyway, I'll keep focused on my documents. I'll just put another fun fact. This lawsuit is from two companies. So whatever happens, there's going to be .x on Handshake coming. There's .nft on the way. There's a whole bunch of other ones that Unstoppable just issued out of thin air that conflicted with Handshakes. So, they're going to have to sue a lot of those. That's kind of what I like about Handshake is it's decentralized. There's not one company you can take down. Even if they were to win this lawsuit against Gateway, they'd have to sue all these other ones coming out and win, and wherever they are and however they are coming out. I just literally saw Impervious come out with a decentralized SLD sales platform. I'm going to do that soon. So you can read all of this. It's totally public. It's 17 pages, and it goes through. It's totally public domain. But plaintiff is Unstoppable Domains, a Delaware corporation, which is a place of business in Mission Street in San Francisco. And its defendant is Gateway, a Delaware corporation with a address in Philadelphia. And the CEO founder is a UK resident. You can read all this. I'm not going to read this for you. You can read this. But they call it valuable trademark rights here, okay? And was founded by Matthew Gold, Brad, and these people. Operates registries, having .wallet TLD, etc., etc. And you can look up serial number, and we've talked about this in the past. It's not an approved trademark. I sell on Amazon. I do brand registry. I've sold businesses. I bought businesses. The trademark is not been approved. So for me, if I get somebody copying me on Amazon, I can't fight them if I don't have a trademark that has been approved. Amazon won't stop that other person because my trademark has not been approved. Even if it's filed, it's not approved. It's not approved, okay, everybody? So yeah, they can file a lawsuit, but they don't have much and they made $5 million in revenue off .wallet. That's great. I mean, is that a reason to stop someone? You can read this, but we all feel like there's no basis in this, and this is just them trying. Unfair competition. They start to talk about some of the tweets here. Yeah, James, I guess they don't like, that. You can read this. It's kind of entertaining and educational. There's some F words and stuff. They are, but I could only imagine the stress. I wouldn't want to be unstoppable. So I could understand that they're upset, but to file a lawsuit, it's baseless in my opinion. So we're thinking, again, you can read this text, but the idea is a lot of people in the community. There's some, I know maybe Unstoppable thinks we don't have money because it's decentralized, and there's people like me, just random people around the internet. It's true, we do not have a VC funded decentralized company in San Francisco, but we have a lot of influential people in crypto and that are going to support this. I don't really want to name them, but there's going to be it's not just against Gateway. It's a lot of people in Handshake are, I believe, influential and have certain rights, because we don't want Unstoppable to just issue .c. What if they just say, hey, we want to issue .c now, and then fight with Clay Collins? They could just issue anything and file a trademark and say this theirs. I mean, we don't feel like anybody in the community is just going to let James throw him under the bus. So while this is a lawsuit against him, it's in our opinion a lawsuit against Handshake, and a lot of us will do our best to help him defend this case. Some of us think maybe they're just hoping that James can't come from the UK to the US to defend it in court. Maybe there's financial reasons. You can read this, but they're basically saying they were first to market, and that they have a lot of sales, and they have a trademark which is not approved, but they don't say it's not approved, and they want we've never seen this before. Some of my friends are more legal than me, but jury trial demanded. We've never heard of that. We just think maybe they feel like the judge wouldn't accept this, but the jury might. Maybe that's the thought. Let me make sure I don't miss anything. But yeah, there's tweets from like Namer Tips. You can find these things online, but a lawsuit's been filed. There's nothing official about a filed lawsuit or its status. Now is the time to consider all angles, possibilities, and narrative outcome serve the plaintiffs or defendants. Yeah, so a lawsuit, honestly, I'm kind of afraid what if these people come after me and sue me, whatever. You have to defend it. You have to respond to the lawsuit. So I hope Gateway is prepared to defend. That is maybe the case of Unstoppable thinks that Gateway can't or won't be able to defend, but there's a lot of people. We want to pool funds together if needed. I can help with that too, to defend this, but we feel like this is baseless. And again, like we said in previous shows and blogs, maybe you're watching this, you're from Unstoppable, maybe you work there, maybe you're a customer. I can understand your natural reaction to defend what you have, but I mean, I hope some of you would step back and think a little bit bigger. There's no very small doubt in my mind that Unstoppable didn't know about Handshake when it came out. We're very, very sure they've known about it, and they chose to ignore it. Or I think from what I heard James Stevens talk to Brad on a call, and they said, we felt like Handshake was on the same chain as us or something like this. There's so many people that are these, I don't know if them, but Ethereum maximalists, ETH maximalists. I'm not a maximalist of Handshake. I'm not a maximalist of ETH or Bitcoin. But maybe they think because it's not ETH that it's not the same. But the plan is to sell domains of these TLDs, .wallet, .x, .nft. There's a few others. They're going to all come out. So Anyway, I mean, you can have your own thoughts, and you know, you might be upset at me personally, or whatever, but I think we should all learn from this. It's also back to that network stake book I talked about in previous video. It's basically like a Web3 or a blockchain. Well, actually, it's two centralized companies, Unstoppable Domains Inc., a Delaware company with an office in San Francisco, versus Gateway, whatever, Inc. or something, in another Delaware company with Philadelphia address. These are the two companies in lawsuit. But of course, one is representing, we believe, a blockchain, and the other is representing, which is Unstoppable, kind of just making up domains and selling them as NFTs, just like anybody can make an NFT. It's not, in our opinion, a domain. It's an NFT with a name. So these two are battling it out, but we will follow this case, and I hope this makes it more clear and helpful. Obviously, I've been following this. I've known about Unstoppable since I know about Handshake, and you know, I think I made this in December. This one. And we've known about this, so it's not like such a big secret. But back then it was .crypto and .zil, and then later they came out with a whole bunch of other ones, which was really upsetting to us, you know, so as a Handshake community. You can see the comparison table. I think there's been better ones. This is really old. It's one of my first ones in December 2020. So anyway, thanks for watching. You know, your feedback is appreciated, and if you'd like to contribute, we'll find out ways to do that. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.